Welcome to our third, I believe this is our third or fourth community call already, where we I wanted to give a few updates from my end on what's going on, sort of on the business end of things, and then Arman to dive a bit into the dev update that we published on our Medium a few days ago. Just kind of go a bit deeper into where we're currently at with the platform. Really exciting to share everything that's already going on. We had a lengthy 2-hour testing session today with the whole team, where everyone kind of was testing out the platform and its capabilities, its functionalities, and working with different agent teams in our current architecture. And super exciting. So I will get started and go ahead with some high level things. So we have decided, or we have landed on a head of community growth candidate, who, after quite a few pretty strong candidates, we've found the right one. She's in Argentina at the moment. That's where she lives, and she has a great background in community growth, social engagement, and essentially building communities from scratch. That is her passion and her expertise. She was previously the head of community at TradingView. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that platform. It has 50 million members on it, and a huge community, huge global community. And she's also previously the community lead at Cointelegraph, also one of the biggest publishing companies in the blockchain space. So really excited to have her on. She'll be starting next week. Currently sending over and working through the agreements. So excited to have that underway. And then sort of following that, we also have started work with Omni, the marketing agency that we onboarded. So we've had our second call with them today, and sort of the first call was strategy, just kind of laying everything out, going through everything, and as of this week, they have started executing on the strategy. So you'll be seeing sort of more on that in the background. Our sort of first focus is on increasing our Twitter follower count and engagement count in an organic way, and getting more traction on that end. And then we'll later transition into Discord. And the thinking behind there is we want to keep Discord as a bit of a sanctuary, where users and developers can come and share ideas and collaborate and communicate, and not have our Discord spammed with thousands of random people. So we're trying to first tackle the sort of Twitter social side of things, and then later, as we get closer to releasing our beta platform and having developers and users come on board, we want to focus more on the Discord itself and have that kind of be the central hub of real user engagement and developer engagement. So that's underway. That's super exciting as well. And then as for the other roles that we're hiring, we are narrowing down on our CMO this week. So that's been great to finalize as well. We have a couple really strong candidates in the mix, so excited to let you guys know when that's been finalized and the one we end up going with. And then the other three roles are still in progress. As we said, just got off a great call with one of our product lead candidates. And then we're still going through the machine learning engineer and the design lead. A lot of great people. It's been quite tough to filter down. I mean, a few times Arman has given me a filtered down list of all the candidates he think we could hire, and I'm like, Arman, like, there's 20 people on this list, like, you gotta cut it down, because we obviously have limited amounts of time. And yeah, I mean, it's been really exciting and humbling to see the excitement that we're seeing in other people for what we're building. The conversations we're having are really, I guess the word I keep coming back to is humbling and grateful that everyone is so excited about this, and the sheer like quality of talent that's applying to us as well, even during these super early stages, is really exciting. So really looking forward to sharing all that with you guys. And yeah, as I said, we're currently testing the platform in-house. Been doing it basically just within ourselves. We've been creating our own agents and creating these multi-agent teams and working with them to execute kind of the tasks that our current agent suite can perform. And we've also been in communication. I think I mentioned that maybe the last time that we were going to reach out, but we're currently in communication with a few key agent developers, and specifically agent developers who have a wide audience and an internet platform. So we've now been in talks with, I think, 3 or 4 YouTubers who have follower counts ranging from 20 to 300,000 followers, who also they essentially build agents and then create videos about them. So working on bringing them on board as a kind of an external, internal development testing team where we can work with them and have them develop and implement some agents on our platform. And then ideally, as we progress to being sort of a more open platform where we have anyone can participate and have a look and use our thing, they can then start making some YouTube posts about it and spreading the word and act as a user acquisition funnel beyond just being helpful agent testers. And with that, I've been speaking a lot. Would love to pass on to Arman to dive a bit deeper into our current platform state and what we've been working on so far and what we've been able to achieve.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the day that we can practically show what we've been building so far. I know that we're keeping you in the dark for some time, but I think the wait will be well worth it. We are we're right now wrapping up our work in what we call the human in the loop system. So the future is agentic. So we're building agents that collaborate between one another and also with you as a stakeholder. And one core aspect of that is they're autonomous, they do work on their own, and they create work for one another. So it's multiplicative in that regard. But also, they don't need your direction. You're not in the driver's seat. What happens is you participate in this conversation, this work as a stakeholder, but of course, they still need you for quality assurance, for double checking certain things, to make sure that they completely understand, the agents completely understand what you have in mind as a stakeholder. For example, like a very good um, question is what kind of output format you want the report in. Do you want it in CSV? Do you want it in Excel? Do you want it in PDF? Do you just require a like image of a chart with that data? So these things, on these occasions, the agents autonomously decide to reach out to you and ask you for clarification and for more details. So this works pretty well so far. And on top of what we have detailed in our Medium article, which is an end-to-end platform that allows you to put together a team of agents and work with them, we now are also leaning more in um, task management through natural language. What happens is on our platform, once you set a goal, the project management agent is making a plan to reach that goal and starts assigning individual small tasks to agents on the workspace. And then work resumes and agents start working on those tasks. When they finish their tasks, they progress the task from to do to in progress to done. But sometimes you as a stakeholder are not happy with the outcome. And in this regard, what you can do right now on the platform is you can talk to these agents directly and tell them, hey, I didn't like this task, or start over, or do it again, or, you know, I actually want this detail. So can you create a new card for it and start working on it? So through these conversations, you're able to manipulate the agents and their work and how the system presents work. So how tasks are laid out. So you can change their scope, add new ones, or ask agents to redo certain tasks. So these are practically the advancements in our ecosystem so far. They work pretty well. So it's very, very natural where you join as a almost as a CEO of a a small startup, basically. Like, we're giving you your team, and you as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, or as a CEO, talk to these agents as you would to other real human colleagues. So that's kind of like the level of interaction that we're trying to provide in our platform. So yeah, it's very exciting. And today in the tests, we were able to come up with some remarkable use cases for these multi-agent systems, where they autonomously decide what to work on and how to accomplish a task. And that task right now might include doing research on the web, but also doing things on the web that no agent has ever learned to do. A very good example is, you might be the owner of a, let's say, a hotel chain, and you might have a hotel management system, a bespoke software that you developed for yourself or someone else developed for you. So what you can do right now is to provide your credentials to an agent on our platform that can then log into that web page for you, figure out whatever you want the agent to accomplish. For example, you can have a single prompt, a very short sentence like, here's the web page, log in and tell me how much money I made last week on my reservations. And what it can do is it can log into the web page, understand where the reservations are, find out how it can apply the time frame of a week through filters or other means, download the data in a CSV, crunch the numbers, present you or draw some charts or graphs, put them in a PDF report and share with you. So, very good question, Cactus. Obviously, there are similarities in how we operate, but at a fundamental level, what we believe is, or maybe let's take a step back. The idea of OpenServ, right? This stems from a simple intuition belief that the current technology that's available to us in the form of a foundational model like GPT-4 or Cloud 3.5 Sonnet are way more capable than we realize right now. So our goal is to not be a competitor to OpenAI or any other model developer, but by simply making clever use of off-the-shelf technology to us, we can enable amazing new use cases that was not available before, that was not um, achievable before. So that's practically what we're doing. And it turns out that in order to implement this, you don't need a new concept like a large action model, and you also don't need to train your own model. A lot of the people, like, there's a lot of hype around AI, and we are, I think, the last people when it comes to hyping about something. We are pretty much down to earth and very realistic in what we do. So we're not here to pump up some non-existent technology or ideas, or sell you new dreams. But training your own models is an extreme use case that is something you do when you absolutely have no other chance. And the foundational models we have right now are very capable. And so far, we were able to build this agent. And this is a real use case, the one that I explained to you, like how much money did I make last week, is very similar to a test that we use whenever we're developing on the system. And it just does not require our own model yet. But this is why we're also hiring a machine learning engineer right now. We believe in the near future, we might need our model for decision making, for reasoning. And we're working on a couple of novel ideas that we have not shared with you yet, I believe. But I can share with you kind of a snippet and maybe a teaser question. And that question goes like, what if English is not the best language to prompt these agents? So we have been asking a lot of what if questions internally in our team. And this is one of the research questions that we have that we're going to explore. And if anything, we're going to be training our own models on decision making. But something like operating the web right now is possible with off-the-shelf tools, off-the-shelf models. It just requires very deliberate system architecture of how you build that that functionality. So we're using a mixed model where we are mixing vision models alongside text models to operate on the web. And we have achieved some remarkable results there. And we are not sure when we're going to release this agent to the public. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing by releasing it. And we also want to make sure that we take care of your data and your privacy before we release this, obviously. And you might have heard about the news of such platforms that use large action models, and their security and privacy has been called into question. And we want to make sure that we're cognizant of those facts before we release this to the public. But internally, we have this model that is or let's say this agent, it's not a new foundational model, but an agent we built using multiple models. It's very capable acting on your behalf as an assistant, as an agent. And it does not require us to train anything on an existing web page. Like, we don't need to teach it how to operate a web page. If a human can operate a web page, our agent also can. Obviously, when things are like super cryptic, it's very difficult for our agent to figure out, for example, where a certain button is. But what we are doing is practically looking at a web page like a human being. Like if there's a menu, if there's a hamburger menu, you are clicking on that, and there might be certain menu items that are interesting to you. So those are the things that we have built in to operate like a human assistant, which, to my not so surprise, tells us that you actually don't need to train anything to operate on DoorDash webpage, for example, or on Uber. It just does not require a training. You can, whenever you visit that webpage, it's straightforward. You can operate on that. So yeah, this is where we are. And I think this is a great question. The line of responsibility with respect to agent behavior or outcome. Fundamentally, we're a marketplace, and what we can do is to promise certain legal frameworks or certain quality checks based on the agreements that we have with the agent developers. But fundamentally, our end users will be directly in contact with these agents and thereby their developers. So there needs to be the exchange of certain privacy policies, for example, between the agents and the end users. Practically, you're hiring a team. So we don't want to be the bottleneck in that discussion. We also don't want to be a relay and draw these responsibilities on us. But we just want to be the facilitator of a workspace of collaboration. So for the agents that we develop, yes, of course, we would be fully responsible, as you would be signing that terms and conditions and privacy policy with us for the agents that we're developing. But for the third-party agents, we're just going to be the facilitator, the platform where you meet with them. So not so brief update on where we are, but we have some exciting developments, and I cannot wait to share more with you.
Yeah, and just to extend a little bit more on that, I mean, you can think of us as like the Apple App Store, except we don't take 30% on every transaction. But in that, you know, the Apple App Store, they have some guard rails and checks and balances for who can upload an app onto the App Store. And there are certain terms and conditions you have to adhere to as an app developer on the App Store. But ultimately, Apple cannot stop malicious activity from taking place. It's just not realistic and just impossible. Now, and so where it then falls is if there is something, you know, illegal going on or whatever it may be, some user is being disadvantaged or there's something malicious going on, then there will be recourse for the agent, or in the App Store, the app developer. So obviously their app is removed from the store, and then there may be further legal liability on their end that would be pursued by either the person who's been damaged or by Apple if they've been involved in that too. So I think that's kind of the approach we're taking, because ensuring that nothing is going to happen is a one-way ticket to us to us not it doesn't work. Like the ultimate, like eventually there will be something, and we cannot be the bearer of that. You know, we're a facilitator, we're a broker between an agent and a user, and we can't bear the burden of that. But we will do everything we can and put as many guard measures in place as reasonably possible to discourage that, and make sure that there is sufficient recourse in the event that something does happen. So yeah, thanks Armand for giving a deeper insight into that. Was a pleasure to have our third community call with you guys. Looking forward to on our next one, or our next dev update will likely be in a video format. So we'll be doing a screencast where we can essentially show you what's going on with the current platform. Obviously, we want to do a bit more fine tuning after today's internal testing session, but would love to start sharing what's going on already. I mean, it's in a testing UI, so it won't be what the final version will look like. It doesn't have the updated interface mapped onto it yet, but the bare bones are there, and it's already really exciting, and it actually kind of looks quite good as it is. So yeah, really looking forward to do that next one with you guys and actually show you what is going on and how it actually looks and how it works, and to sort of make this real as opposed to just theoretical discussions. And then looking forward to doing a call after that to answer any questions and talk through it a bit more. So thanks for joining, everyone. Great to see you as always. And well, maybe I'll wait to see if any last questions. Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. Wish you a wonderful evening or day wherever you are.
Take care.
Bye-bye.